Could Precious Achiuwa be returning to action this week for the New York Knicks? Rumors are heating up, and it sounds like the big sneeze is getting healthier and healthier as the days go on. If you're ready for Precious to be back, though, achoo! Big sneeze back in the lineup, bringing some defensive versatility as well as some offensive rebounding back to the New York Knicks. Go down right now and hit that thumbs up icon. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for stopping by as we react to the latest injury news on Precious Achiuwa. And then on the back half of the video, I just want to talk about how awesome this New York Knicks offense has been as we're about 16, 17 games into the regular season. Tom Thibodeau shared a positive injury update for Achiuwa, saying Precious is pretty much doing everything right now at practice. He's starting to run. He is working out. He is playing through contact. They're doing contact drills. And it sounds like Achiuwa is on the verge of coming back. Ian Begley of SNY. Shout out to Mr. Ian Begley. Go check him out. He does awesome work as he works for SNY and covers the Knicks as well as the Brooklyn Nets. He says, I don't think they rush him back maybe a week, maybe a few days. I do think Achiuwa will be back before the end of the month here. And I think we're getting closer and closer. And that is going to be a major boost for the New York Knicks. Getting him back is going to be huge. You're adding a guy that can bring multiple things to this basketball team. I think we've forgotten how good of a player Achiuwa was when he came over in that trade with OG Anunoby. He had to start like 18 games for the New York Knicks, and he brings a lot of different things. And to be honest with you, I know this probably isn't going to be a very popular opinion. I'm more excited for Precious Achiuwa's return than Mitchell Robinson's return. I know there's some people that are going to disagree with that. I just think that Achiuwa gives you more in different spots. He's more versatile. He can affect the game in different ways. Robinson's more dominant at what he does. He's the best offensive rebounder in the league, and he can block some shots as well. But let's not sleep on the defensive upside that Precious Achiuwa has for the New York Knicks. Look, when he got here and he was involved in that trade, I thought it was just a throw-in. And he exceeded every single expectation that I set for him. And I love that. The guy was awesome last year, averaging 7.6 points per game for the New York Knicks, 7.2 rebounds per game, a career high for him. He's also giving you 2.9 offensive rebounds per game. He's giving you 1.1 blocks per game, and he's giving you a half a steal per game. Then in the playoffs, in 20 minutes per game, he was still really productive. Over 5 points, over 4 boards, 2.4 on the offensive glass, 1.3 blocks per game, and a half a steal per game. That's my favorite thing about Achiuwa is his versatility on the defensive end, coming over from that weak side and challenging shots at the rim. He's going to bring some shot blocking to this team. The New York Knicks are at the bottom of the league in the shot blocking department, and they could use that. They could also use the offensive rebounding that Achiuwa brings you, as well as just the versatility to maybe plug him into the starting line if there's an injury to a guy on this team. Last year, he had to start 18 games for the New York Knicks, and he was incredible. 12.5 points per game, north of 9.5 rebounds, 3.8 offensive rebounds. I know we look at Robinson as an elite offensive rebounder, which he is, best in the business, not taking anything away from him, but I think we sleep on the big sneeze's ability to crash the glass and create extra offensive possessions for the Knicks. He averaged 1.8 blocks per game in those 18 games, and he averaged 1.1 steals per game. The guy averaged 3 stocks per game as a starter with 3.8 offensive rebounds per game. He just brings versatility to this team. You want him to start at center if Towns is out? He could do that. You want him to come off the bench and be the main big that plays instead of Jericho Sims? He could do that. You want him to play at times with stretches with Cat at the 5 and him at the 4? He could do that. We saw in the series against the Philadelphia 76ers, he played the 5, OG played the 4, and they had OG on Joel Embiid, and they had Precious as a roamer. And there were some clips that emerged, and I don't want to get too excited off-season hype videos and workout videos. But, man, the shot looked a little bit better. He shot like 29% last year. If he can get up to 32, 33% from downtown, Precious Achiuwa is going to get a bag in the offseason. Glad he's back. He's going to make this team better in a lot of areas, and I'm excited to see him back on the court with New York across his chest. Show him some love, though. Type those 5s down in the comments section. Welcome Precious Achiuwa back to the Knicks. I think it's going to happen here pretty soon. Don't expect him to play on Wednesday against the Mavs, but before the end of the month, I do expect him back in the lineup. Type those 5s and show our guy Precious some love. We'll talk about the explosive New York Knicks offense in a second as they rank in the top 5 in every single stat that matters. But Black Friday special, chatsports.com/realknicks, chatsports.com/realknicks. Get your Knicks Now Real One t-shirt. We've got a black one. We've got a blue one. Get yours today. And if you get it, when it shows up, take a picture of it and send it to me, and we'll put it on the show. This New York Knicks offense so far this season has been unbelievable. There were some thoughts maybe this offense wouldn't be able to reach its peak early on in the season, and I don't even think they're close to their peak, to be quite frank with you. But what they are doing night in and night out, and more specifically in the last couple of weeks, has been unreal. Let's look at the entire season, though. Points per game, 119.1, number 4 in the NBA. Offensive rating, how many points do you score per 100 possessions? The Knicks are number 2 in the NBA at 122.4 points per 100 possessions. Assist to turnover ratio, number 1 in the NBA. I think the reason for the Knicks' big jump, obviously you added Karl Anthony Towns and you're just more space and more pace and you're playing 5 out. But it's the playmaking that has really separated the Knicks from the pack this year. Number 1 in the league in assist to turnover ratio. Field goal percentage, 50.4. Number 2 in the NBA. 3-point percentage, 39.8. Number 2 in the NBA. Effective field goal percentage, 58.6. Number 2 in the NBA. True shooting percentage, 61.6. Number 2 in the NBA. Kind of a theme we got here, 1 or 2. Free throw percentage, what do you know? Number 1 in the NBA. Assists per game, huge jump for the Knicks in this regard, 28.6. They've already almost met their season total of games with 30 assists this year than they did last year. And what's crazy about it is the pace that they are playing at is at one of the lower marks in the NBA. It's 97.38 in pace, which is number 27 in the NBA. So you are playing at one of the slower paces in the NBA, and you still are top 5 in points per game. And you are still at the top of the league in almost every single offensive category. What's crazy to me is the New York Knicks last year scored 130 points 3 times in 82 games. You scored 136 versus the Raptors, you scored 139 versus the Suns, and you scored 145 versus the Raptors. You absolutely dominated the Raptors last year. This year, you've already scored 130 points 3 times. So last year, you did it 3 times. This year, you've already done it 3 times. And this year, you've already scored more than 120 points 8 times. This offense is unreal. It's easy. I always used to think that 5-out, the 5-out offensive scheme would result in more threes. And it does. But it really results in more layups. And that's what the Knicks have gotten. That's why their field goal percentage is so high. I want to make sure I say this very carefully. The New York Knicks offense is awesome right now. It's number 2 in the NBA in all the stats. It could be maybe the best offense in NBA history if Mikal Bridges can just lock in. If Mikal Bridges can improve and can be the player that we thought we were getting. Like, I don't need you to take a leap. I don't need you to do anything you haven't done. Just be the person you were before getting here, because you're only shooting 30% from 3, which is insane because before this season, his career average from downtown was 37.5. Right now, he is one of the worst volume 3-point shooters in the NBA. If he gets back to shooting 37.5% from 3, this will go down as the best offense in NBA history. And that is not a joke. While Bridges has been bad from downtown, he has been good in other areas. Here's his shot chart for the season. He has been absolutely money in the mid-range. In the deep mid-range, he is shooting 26 of 43, 60.5%. League average is 40.6, so he has become one of the best mid-range shooters in the NBA. Inside the paint, he's shooting 53.6%. League average is 42.3. He's also really good around the rim this year, 68.8% there as league average. So he's a better than league average mid-range shooter at this time. He's been really good as well from that left corner, or that would be the right corner, shooting 17 of 32 from there, 53.1%. League average is 39. Not so good, though, from that opposite corner, just 31.8% from there. He's actually below league average, but above the breaks 3. 9 of 52, 17.3%. League average is 35%. I truly do believe that if Mikal Bridges can just be the player that he was for the Phoenix Suns and for the Brooklyn Nets and get back to being a good 3-and-D player, the New York Knicks will win the NBA Finals. This roster is deep. This roster has enough talent. They are, in spite of Mikal Bridges right now, the best offense in the NBA over the last 2.5 weeks. And imagine if you had the guy that you gave up the control of 6 first-round picks for playing at an average level. If he does that, if he just is average, like average on defense and average from 3, this team will win the NBA Finals. I'm rooting for Mikal Bridges. I am. He frustrates me because my expectations are too high. And as we know, expectations could spoil anything. And maybe I just need to lower my expectations. But I don't think having the expectation of being a league average 3-point shooter is too high. Show him some love. I'm going to continue to roll with him. I'll continue to be mad if he plays bad. Talk good. Play good. Talk good. Play bad. Talk bad. I'm a simple man. Show him some love, though. Type those 25s and make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG. Same handle, @MarshallGreen_. Give me a follow, and let's go Knicks.